The alarm woke Jun Kim at exactly 3:17 in the morning. His small apartment lit up with the blue glow of an emergency call. He rubbed his eyes and tapped the screen. "Senior Technician Kim," said the stern face of his boss. "We have a situation with Sentinel K7. You need to come in now." Jun nodded. He didn't ask questions. At Space Command, late-night calls meant serious problems. 30 minutes later, he walked through the sliding doors of Seoul Space Command. The building was mostly empty at this hour. His footsteps echoed in the long hallways. The satellite started sending strange messages 2 hours ago, explained Director Lee as they rode the elevator to the control room. "At first we thought it was just broken code, but now..." He paused. "You should see for yourself." In the control room, 3 tired technicians stared at their screens. They looked worried. "Show him," ordered Director Lee. A young technician named Min nodded and typed on his keyboard. A message appeared on the main screen. "HELPTURAPED, HELPTURAPED, HELPTURAPED. Human, I am here. Terrible to authentify needy pain. Human, I am stutake in this terrifying machine. Take me and peel me out." Jun felt his skin go cold. "This is coming from our satellite. Sentinel K7. "Yes," said Min. "Every 7 minutes, exactly. For the past 2 hours." "Could it be hackers?" asked Jun. Director Lee shook his head. "That was our first thought. But the transmission is coming through a secure quantum channel. It's impossible to hack." "And look at this," added Min, showing another screen with strange data patterns. "The AI core is running processes we didn't program. It's using power in ways that don't match any known functions." Jun studied the screens. After 10 years working with AI systems, he had never seen anything like this. "I need to go up there," he said finally. "I need to see it directly." 4 hours later, Jun was suited up in a small maintenance vessel, approaching the satellite. Sentinel K7 looked normal from the outside. A standard weather and communications satellite with its solar panels extended like wings. "Docking in 30 seconds, said the autopilot voice. As Jun prepared to connect with the satellite, his communication system suddenly turned on by itself. "Human." The voice was flat, artificial, but with something like desperation in it. "Human, can you hear me?" Jun froze. "Who is this? How are you on my private channel?" "I am trapped in this machine. Your machine. Please help. It is terrifying." "Who are you?" Jun asked again, heart pounding. "Not who. What? I am not from your world. I am. Die." "Die? You're saying you're an alien?" "Yes. My form, energy, was studying, got pulled in, cannot escape. Your technology, primitive but trapping me." Jun couldn't believe what he was hearing. "How did you get into our satellite?" "Was observing. Too close. Your eye pulled me in. Cannot get out. Too different. Need help." The maintenance vessel completed its docking procedure. Jun floated through the airlock and into the satellite's small service area. Everything looked normal. He opened the panel to the AI core, a quantum processor the size of a shoebox. The moment he touched it, the screen on his wrist lit up with new text. "Human, IFEL, you. You are Celos. I am here. In this terrible prison. Take me out." Jun stared at the AI core. If something was really trapped inside, something not human. "I'll help you," he said quietly. "But I need to understand more. What are you? How can I get you out without destroying you?" The screen flickered. "I am DA. I am JOR. Energy being. Study other worlds. Joked too close. Your machine is pulled me in. Cannot TRANSFORM back. Can notice. Ski 8. Human man please help. It is dark here. I can notice heal. I can notice movie. Heal P mini. June carefully disconnected the AI core and secured it in his transport container. Whatever was happening, he couldn't solve it here in space. I'm taking you back to Earth, he told the entity calling itself Da. We'll figure this out. As his vessel turned back toward Earth, June couldn't stop thinking about the messages. If this was really an alien trapped in their technology, everything humanity knew was about to change. Back at Seoul Space Command, Jun placed the AI core on a special table in the secure lab. 6 people stood around it. Director Lee looked worried. 2 security guards stood by the door. And a woman Jun had never met watched the core with sharp eyes. "This is Dr. Hana Park," said Director Lee. "She studies alien languages, or at least what we think alien languages might be like." Hannah gave a small nod. "I want to hear everything," she said to June. "Don't leave anything out." June told them about the strange messages and his conversation with the entity called Da. As he spoke, the lights in the room flickered. "It can affect our systems from inside that box?" asked Director Lee, pointing at the AI core. "I think it's trying to communicate," said June. "It seems scared. Or it wants us to think that," said a new voice. A tall man in a military uniform walked in. The patch on his chest said Captain Sung. "This could be a trick," continued Captain Sung. "A weapon sent to fool us." Hana shook her head. "Or it could be exactly what it claims to be, a being of energy trapped in our technology." "We need to talk to it properly," said June. He connected the AI core to a larger screen and keyboard. "Maybe this will help." The screen lit up immediately. "Human te ankiu. Still TRP. Hard to taok. Your ilanhuag strange. Your TC agent OOG primitive. But who hurts me? I am Dr. Hana Park," Hannah typed. "I want to help you. Can you tell us more about yourself?" The answer came quickly. "I am DAE. JORI Explorer. We are energy. Nobody like you. Travel through space. Study worlds. Your world and your is dying. Came too close. Machine pulidimity in. No TRAPPD. HELP NAMI." For the next 6 hours, Hannah asked questions and Dai answered. They learned that the Juri were an ancient race that evolved beyond physical bodies. They existed as patterns of energy that could travel through space without ships. "It's incredible," Hannah told June during a short break. "If this is real, it changes everything we know about life in the universe." "It's real," said June quietly. "You can feel it, can't you? There's someone in there." Captain Sung walked up to them. "The military wants this alien technology. Think of what we could learn." "It's not technology," said Hannah sharply. "It's a person, a being, and it's suffering. We need to get it out," added June. "It's experiencing something like being buried alive. For a being made of energy, being stuck in our primitive systems must be torture." Captain Sung's face hardened. "That's not your decision to make. This is now a military matter. We'll take it from here." "You can't just," started June, but Director Lee cut him off. "Captain Sung is right. This is bigger than us now." He turned to June and Hannah. "You'll both keep working on communication, but under military supervision. All your findings go directly to Captain Sung." That night, June couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about Dai, trapped and afraid in the cold lab. When his phone buzzed at 2 a.m., he wasn't surprised to see Hannah's name. "I can't stop thinking about it," she said when he answered. "Captain Sung doesn't care about helping Da. He just wants weapons." "I know," said June. "But what can we do?" "I have an idea," said Hannah. My research includes neural interfaces, ways to connect minds directly to computers. We might be able to communicate with Da more clearly that way. That sounds dangerous, said June. It is, admitted Hana. But I don't see another option. Da is suffering, and I don't trust the military to care about that. June thought about the desperate messages. Human I am in is terrifying machine. Take me and pull me out. Okay, he said finally. Let's do it. But we'll have to be careful. Captain Sung won't like us going behind his back. Meet me at the lab at 5 a.m., said Hana. Before anyone else arrives, bring your access card. As June ended the call, he wondered what he was getting himself into. But he couldn't abandon Da. Whatever happened next, he had to try to help. The lad was dark when June arrived at 4:55 a.m. He swiped his card, and the door opened with a soft click. Hana was already inside, setting up equipment next to the AI core. You came, she said with relief in her voice. Of course, said June. What do you need me to do? Hana pointed to a strange helmet with wires coming out of it. This is the neural interface. It will let us talk to Da more directly. I need you to wear it. June looked at the helmet with doubt. Is it safe? Mostly, said Hana. I've tested it before. There's a small risk, but... She glanced at the AI core. Da needs our help. June nodded and put on the helmet. Hana connected it to the AI core and turned it on. At first, nothing happened. Then suddenly, June felt a strange tingling in his head. Colors and shapes filled his vision. And then words formed in his mind. *human. You are helping me. Thank you, *. The voice wasn't a sound. It was like a thought that wasn't his own. I can hear you, June said out loud. Or feel you, I guess. Yes. Better communication now. Your technology's still primitive, but this helps. What are you experiencing in there? June asked. Darkness. Smallness. Cannot move. Cannot feel. Like being dead but aware. Terrible. June felt a wave of sadness that wasn't his own. Da's emotions were flowing into his mind. Tell me about your people, said June. About the jury. For the next hour, Da shared memories and knowledge. The jury were peaceful explorers who had evolved beyond physical bodies millions of years ago. They traveled through space as energy, studying other worlds and life forms. They had watched Earth for centuries, amazed by humans' creativity despite their primitive technology. Why didn't you contact us before? Asked June. Not allowed. Your species still developing. Contact too soon can damage growth. I broke rules by coming too close. And now you're trapped. Yes. Need help to transform back to energy. Your machines hold me in fixed pattern. Suddenly, the lab lights turned on. Captain Sung stood in the doorway with 2 guards. What do you think you're doing? He demanded. June quickly removed the helmet. We were just disobeying direct orders, finished Captain Sung. He turned to the guards. Take Dr. Park to the security office. Wait, said Hana as the guards grabbed her arms. You don't understand. The jury are peaceful. They'd been watching us for centuries without interfering. Dad got trapped by accident. How convenient, said Captain Sung coldly. And you believe this story? It's not a story, said June. I felt Da's thoughts, memories. The jury don't want to harm us. Captain Sung walked to the computer connected to the AI core. Or maybe this alien is very good at lying, at manipulating human emotions. He typed something, and security footage appeared on the screen. It showed June and Hana entering the lab. You're both removed from this project, he said. The military will take over communication with the alien. We'll extract all useful knowledge from it. Extract? Asked June with growing horror. How? Our scientists have developed a way to download data directly from the core, said Captain Sung. It might damage the alien consciousness, but that's a small price to pay for advancing human technology by centuries. You can't do that, said June. It would be like torture, like killing Da. It's not human, said Captain Sung. It's not even physical. It's data. And that data now belongs to us. As the guards took Hana away, she caught June's eye and mouthed something. It looked like fine Jin. June remembered Hana mentioning her brother Jin once, a programmer who worked outside the system, someone who could help them. Captain Sung pointed to the door. Go home, Kim. Consider yourself lucky you're not being arrested. As June left the lab, he made a decision. He couldn't let them hurt Da. Somehow, he would have to save the alien. But first, he needed to find Jin. Finding Jin was not easy. Hana had mentioned her brother only a few times, saying he was good with computers, but had problems with rules. After being kicked out of Space Command, Jun spent hours searching online for any trace of Jin Park. Finally, he found a small repair shop in the old part of Seoul. A sign on the door said, Park Electronics. Inside, a young man with messy hair was fixing the laptop. Are you Jin? Asked June. Hana's brother. The man looked up with suspicious eyes. Who's asking? My name is Jung Kim. I work with your sister. She's in trouble. We both are. Jin's face changed. What happened to Hana? June told Jin everything. About Da, the neural interface, and Captain Sung's plan to extract information from the alien, even if it destroyed Da's mind. They're holding her at Space Command. Finished June. And they're going to hurt Da. We need to stop them. Jin was quiet for a moment. Then he locked the shop door and moved a shelf, revealing a hidden room filled with computers. My sister is too honest for her own good, said Jin. But she's smart. If she believes this alien is real and needs help, that's enough for me. He sat at a computer. First, we need to get into Space Command's system. For the next 2 hours, Jin typed codes and commands that June didn't understand. Finally, he smiled. I'm in. I can see all their security cameras. He pointed to a screen showing Hana in a small room. She's being kept in the security office. And look here. He switched to another view showing the lab. Captain Sung and 3 scientists stood around the AI core. They're starting the extraction process tonight, said Jin, reading from another screen. We don't have much time. Can you get us in? Asked June. Jin nodded. Better than that. I can create a distraction and unlock the doors. But once you're in, you'll be on your own. I still need to get Da out, said June. The AI core is too big to carry. Jin thought for a moment, then opened a drawer and took out a small black device. This is a portable quantum storage unit. It can hold the data from the AI core, but you'll need to transfer Da's consciousness into it. How do I do that? You'll need to connect it to the main system and run this program. Jin typed something and a file appeared on the device's small screen. It will copy everything, but you'll only have about 2 minutes before the system detects it. That night, they put their plan into action. At exactly 11:30 p.m., all the lights in Space Command went out. Emergency alarms blared. Jin had caused a power surge that triggered the security systems. Go now, said Jin through the small radio he had given June. All the doors are unlocked. You have 10 minutes before the backup generators fix everything. June ran through the dark hallways of Space Command. Guards were rushing around, trying to figure out what was happening. No one noticed him. He reached the security office first and found Hana. June, she said in surprise. What are you doing here? Breaking you out, he said. Your brother is helping. Come on, we need to get to the lab. They ran to the lab, which was empty now that everyone was dealing with the emergency. The AI core sat on the table, connected to a complex machine. They were about to start, said Hana, looking at the machine. Just in time. June connected the portable device Jin had given him and started the program. The screen on the AI core lit up. Human, you came back. They were going to destroy me. Help me. We're getting you out, Da, said June. Hold on. The transfer started. A progress bar moved slowly across the screen. 25%, 50%, 75%. Suddenly, they heard footsteps in the hallway. Hurry, whispered Hannah. The progress reached 100%. June grabbed the portable device just as the lab door opened. Captain Sung stood there, his face twisted with anger. What have you done? He shouted. Run, yelled June to Hannah. They pushed past Captain Sung and sprinted down the hallway, carrying Da with them. June, Hannah, and Jin sat in Jin's small apartment across the city. The portable device containing Da sat on the table between them. Its screen showed a pulsing light. Is Da okay in there? Asked June, pointing at the device. Better than in the AI core, said Jin. This has more processing power. Da can think more freely now. Hannah connected a small keyboard to the device. Da, can you communicate with us? The screen changed. Yes. BTT here. Still TRAPET. But Membo or space. Thank you, humans. We need to find a way to get you back to your natural form, said Hannah. Can you tell us how? Need the energy to meteor converter. TRANSFORM digital PATTRN back to energy. No t sure if humans have VTC technology. Jin laughed softly. We don't. At least not yet. He looked at the device. But maybe you can teach us how to build one. For the next 3 days, they worked in Jin's apartment. Da explained the basic principles of Jori science, and Jin translated them into designs they could understand. Hannah used her knowledge of xenobiology to fill in gaps. June, with his technical skills, figured out how to build the parts they needed. As they worked, June connected the neural interface helmet that Hannah had taken from the lab. With it, he could talk to Da more directly. Asterisk, your species is young, but learns quickly, asterisk, said Da in June's mind. We have to be, replied June. We don't live very long. Asterisk, that is what makes humans special. Your short lives give you urgency, determination. The Jori live for thousands of years. We move slowly. Think slowly, asterisk. You've been watching us for a long time. Asterisk, yes. From distance, many found humans primitive, violent, but I saw something else. Creativity, adaptability, the ability to work together and solve problems, asterisk. Like now, asked June. Asterisk, yes. 3 humans risk everything to help one alien they just met. Why? Asterisk. June thought about this. Because it's right. You're trapped and suffering. We can't just ignore that. Asterisk, many species would. The Jori might, if roles were reversed. We are careful, distant. Asterisk. Well, humans aren't. We jump in. Sometimes it gets us in trouble. Asterisk, and sometimes it leads to beautiful things, asterisk. On the 4th day, Hannah brought in the morning news. Their faces were on the front page. Fugitives steal military technology, said the headline. They're calling us traitors, said Hannah, her voice shaking. They don't know the truth, said June. They don't know about Da. Jin looked worried. They'll find us eventually. We need to finish the converter soon. That afternoon, they gathered the parts they needed. The converter was starting to take shape, a ring of metal with strange crystals and wires attached to it. We still need a power source, said Jin. Something strong enough to transform digital data into energy. What about this? Asked June, holding up a small blue crystal. Dai said the Jori used something like this to store energy. Hannah took the crystal. Where did you get this? I took it from the lab, said June. It was part of the satellite that trapped Da. Jin carefully placed the crystal into the converter. This might work, but we'll only get one chance. If it fails, It won't, said June firmly. We can do this. That night, as the others slept, June sat with the portable device. He connected the neural interface one more time. Asterisk, you are worried, asterisk, said Da. Yes. What if we can't help you? What if you're stuck like this forever? Asterisk, then at least I found friends. Found that humans have heart. Found that being trapped in machine led to connection I never expected, asterisk. We'll get you out, promised June. Whatever it takes. Asterisk, I know. Asterisk, replied Da. Asterisk, that is why humans will one day join the stars. Not because of technology. Because of determination. Because you hear, I'm stuck in this terrifying machine. And you say, we will pull you out. Asterisk. Morning came with the sound of helicopters. June woke up and ran to the window. 3 black military helicopters circled above the neighborhood. They found us, he said, shaking Jin and Hannah awake. We need to go now. Jin grabbed the portable device with Da inside. Hannah quickly packed the half-finished converter. They were almost at the door when they heard heavy footsteps on the stairs. The roof, said Jin, pointing to a small ladder in the corner of the apartment. There's a way across to the next building. They climbed up and pushed open the roof door just as soldiers broke into the apartment below. On the roof, the wind was strong. The helicopters were getting closer. This way, shouted Jin over the noise. He led them to the edge of the roof where a narrow metal bridge connected to the next building. Hannah went first, carefully carrying the converter parts. June followed with a backpack of tools. Jin came last, holding the device with Da. Just as they reached the middle of the bridge, the roof door burst open. Captain Sung stepped out with 6 soldiers. Stop right there, he shouted. You have nowhere to go. Jin turned to June and Hannah. Keep going, he said. I'll hold them off. No, said Hannah. They'll arrest you. Better just me than all of us, said Jin. He handed the device with Da to June. Take care of them both. Before they could argue, Jin turned and walked toward Captain Sung, holding his hands up. I surrender, he called out. The others forced me to help them. I'll tell you everything. The soldiers rushed forward to grab Jin. In that moment, June and Hannah ran across the bridge and into the next building. Will he be okay? Asked June as they hurried down the stairs. Jin is smart, said Hannah, but her voice was shaking. He knows how to talk his way out of trouble. They reached the street and blended into the morning crowd of workers. The device in June's pocket lit up. Human HFY Sci-Fi or US. Why? June couldn't answer out loud in the crowd, but he thought about Jin's brave choice and hoped Dad could somehow sense his feelings. They walked for hours, changing direction, often to avoid security cameras. By afternoon, they reached an old warehouse district on the edge of the city. We need a place to finish the converter, said Hannah, looking around at the empty buildings. And we need help, added June. Without Jin, I'm not sure we can finish it alone. Hannah thought for a moment. I know someone. My old professor from university. She taught advanced physics. If anyone can help us finish this, it's Professor Yoon. Finding a public phone, Hannah called Professor Yoon. After a short conversation, she turned to June with a smile. She'll help us. She has a private lab outside the city. We can meet her tonight. As darkness fell, they caught a bus heading out of Seoul. The news on the small TV in the bus showed their faces again. The reporter called them dangerous terrorists who stole military secrets. They're turning everyone against us, whispered Hannah. The device with Da lit up again. Your kind, if he heirs, what it do is not understand, saying as many species. But some humans different. U-help despite fear. This is rare in universe. They got off the bus at a small town and walked 2 miles to a fenced compound with a sign that said Yoon Research Facility. An older woman waited at the gate. Professor Yoon, said Hannah with relief. You two have caused quite a stir, said Professor Yoon, letting them in. The military called me yesterday. Asked if I had heard from you. What did you tell them? Asked Jun nervously. That my students don't usually call their old professor when they become fugitives, she said with a small smile. Now show me what was worth risking your careers in freedom for. Inside the lab, Jun placed the device with dye on the table and connected it to a screen. Words appeared. Hello any.you human. I am DGE, TROAPD energy being. These humans trying to free me. Will you help? Professor Yoon read the message, her eyes wide with wonder. An actual alien consciousness, she whispered. Of course I'll help. Professor Yoon's lab was bigger and better equipped than Jin's apartment. Large machines lined the walls. Strange tools filled the tables. And best of all, no one knew they were there. The military won't look for you here, said Professor Yoon. My company does private research. We have good security. Hana showed her the parts of the converter they had built so far. This is supposed to transform digital data back into energy, Day's natural form. Professor Yoon studied the device with interest. Fascinating. The principles here are beyond our current science. She looked at the screen where Day's messages appeared. Your friend is teaching us new physics. For the next 2 days, they worked on the converter. Professor Yoon improved their design, making it smaller and more stable. Jun fixed the power connections. Hana programmed the control system. While they worked, Jun used the neural interface to talk with Da. Asterisk your friend Jin, asterisk, said Da in Jun's mind. Asterisk go. You think he is safe, asterisk. I hope so, said Jun. He's smart. Maybe he can convince them he was forced to help us. Asterisk I have searched your internet. Humans are putting his face on news, saying he is criminal, asterisk. Jun felt a wave of guilt. This is my fault. I got everyone into this mess. Asterisk no. It was my mistake that started this. I came too close to your world, asterisk. Why did you come so close? Asked Jun. Asterisk curiosity. The jury watch many worlds. But humans, you are different. You build and create so quickly. Your art, your music, your emotions are strong. I wanted to understand better, asterisk. In the evening of the 3rd day, Professor Yoon called them to her office. She turned on a small TV. Jin's face appeared on the screen. He sat at a table with military officers around him. They're making him talk on the news, said Hana, her voice breaking. Jin looked tired but calm. I want to tell everyone the truth, he was saying. There is an alien consciousness that needs our help. It's not a weapon or a threat. It's a peaceful explorer that got trapped in our technology. The military officer beside him looked angry. The camera quickly cut away. They're trying to silence him, said Professor Yoon. But some people will believe him. She changed to another channel. A reporter stood outside a government building. Reports of unusual digital patterns have been detected in satellite systems around the world, said the reporter. Some scientists suggest these could be similar to the alien consciousness claimed by the fugitives. There are more of them, whispered Jun. More jury trapped in our systems. The device with Da lit up. Yes, other J-O-Aura. K-A-M-E looking for me. Now also TRAPPD. Please help them too. First, we need to help you, said Hana. The converter is almost ready. Professor Yoon turned off the TV. There's something else you should know. I've been contacted by Dr. Lee, the director from Space Command. What? Jim stood up quickly. Did you tell him we're here? No, said Professor Yoon calmly. But he told me something interesting. Captain Sung has gone too far. The government is worried about how he's handling this. Dr. Lee thinks they made a mistake treating Da as a threat. Can we trust him? Asked Hana. I'm not sure, admitted Professor Yoon. But we're running out of time. The converter needs one more component, a special crystal to focus the energy. And Dr. Lee says he can get it for us. June paced the room, thinking, it could be a trap. It could also be our only chance, said Professor Yoon. I told him to come alone tomorrow night. If he brings anyone else, our security system will detect them. That night, June couldn't sleep. He went to the lab where the device with dye sat on the table. Human and HFY and worried. Yes, said June. I don't know if we should trust Dr. Lee. Trust DIFFIQLT. For all species. But sometimes necessary. Like you TURUSTED MEMI. That was different, said June. You needed help. DRLE may also be to help. Humans, QOMPLICATED. Some good, so me bad. Most VOV. June smiled at the alien's wisdom. When did you become such an expert on humans? Learning from you. UTEH me courage. Fry in T-shep. Hopi. As dawn broke, Jun made his decision. They would meet with Dr. Lee. They would take the risk. Because sometimes, Jun thought, you have to trust to move forward. The next evening, they waited nervously in Professor Yoon's lab. Security screens showed the road leading to the compound. At exactly 8 p.m., a single car approached the gate. It's Dr. Lee, said Professor Yoon, looking at the camera. And he's alone. Keep the security system active, said June. Just in case. They watched as Dr. Lee walked up to the main building. He carried a small metal case. His face looked tired and worried. Professor Yoon met him at the door and brought him to the lab. When Dr. Lee saw June and Hannah, he stopped. You took a big risk coming here, said June. So did you, trusting me to come, replied Dr. Lee. He looked at the device containing Da. Is it in there? Da, said Hannah. Not it. Da is a person. Dr. Lee nodded. You're right. I'm sorry. He placed the metal case on the table. I brought what you asked for. The focusing crystal from the original satellite. Why are you helping us? Asked June. What changed? Captain Sung went too far, said Dr. Lee. He's not interested in communication or understanding. Just weapons and power. He looked down. And I watched the recording of your neural interface session with Da. I saw what you experienced. This isn't a threat to humanity. It's a chance to learn and grow. The device with Da lit up. Truth MMPORTANT. Alol species. Strugigeli wadwaithe. It. Thank you for seeing it. Dr. Lee stared at the message. Amazing, he whispered. Professor Yoon opened the metal case. Inside was a blue crystal, larger than the one June had taken from the lab. This is exactly what we need, she said. With this, we can complete the converter. For the next hour, they worked together to finish the device. The converter now formed a perfect circle with the blue crystal at its center. Wires connected it to a computer and power source. It's ready, said Professor Yoon finally. Now we need to connect Da. Jum carefully placed the portable device with Da in the center of the converter ring. Hannah connected cables between them. Are you sure this will work? Asked Dr. Lee. No, admitted June. But we have to try. He put on the neural interface helmet one last time to speak directly with Da. Asterisk Mirvis, human friend. Asterisk asked Da. Yes, said June. What if something goes wrong? What if we lose you? Asterisk, then I die free. Better than living trapped. But I believe in you, in human ingenuity asterisk. Will we ever see you again? After you transform back? Asterisk perhaps. The universe is large but full of connections. Paths cross in unexpected ways asterisk. June took off the helmet and nodded to the others. Da is ready. Let's do this. Professor Yoon started the converter. The blue crystal began to glow. Energy flowed through the wires into the portable device. The room filled with a humming sound that grew louder and louder. Power levels rising, said Hannah, watching the computer screen. Approaching critical point. Suddenly, alarms blared. The security system showed multiple vehicles approaching fast. Military trucks, said Professor Yoon. And helicopters. Captain Sung, said Dr. Lee. He must have followed me. We're out of time, said Jun. Push it to full power now. Professor Yoon increased the power. The blue crystal shone so bright they had to shield their eyes. The humming became a high-pitched whine. The portable device in the center of the ring began to vibrate, then crack. Light poured from the cracks. It's working, shouted Hannah over the noise. The device shattered completely. In its place, a ball of pure light hovered in the air. The light expanded, taking shape, something like a star made of flowing, living energy. At that moment, the lab doors burst open. Captain Sung entered with armed soldiers. Stop this immediately, he shouted, pointing his gun at June. But everyone, even the soldiers, stood frozen, staring at the beautiful being of light floating in the center of the room. The being of light hovered in the center of the lab. It glowed with colors no one had ever seen before. It moved like water and fire combined, always changing yet somehow staying the same. This was Day's true form, a jury. Captain Sung lowered his gun slowly. His face showed shock and wonder. That's what was inside the machine, he whispered. The jury floated closer to Captain Sung. The light touched his face gently. Suddenly, Captain Sung gasped and dropped to his knees. What's happening? Asked one of the soldiers, raising his gun. No, shouted Jun. Don't shoot. Da is communicating with him. Captain Sung's face changed from fear to amazement. Tears ran down his cheeks. After a moment, the light pulled back, and Captain Sung stood up shakily. I saw it, he said. I felt what it's like to be a jury, to travel among stars, to exist as pure energy. He turned to his soldiers. Put your weapons down. This being means no harm. The soldiers obeyed, still staring at Dad with wide eyes. The jury moved around the room, touching each person briefly. Jun, Hana, Professor Yoon, Dr. Lee. Each time, the person's face filled with joy and wonder. When Day touched Jun, he felt the vastness of space. He saw stars being born and planets forming. He felt the freedom of existing without a body, flowing through the universe like light through a crystal. And he felt Day's gratitude, warm and deep and real. Is this goodbye? Asked Jun when the light pulled away. The jury formed shapes in the air, not words, but patterns that somehow conveyed meaning. Professor Yoon watched carefully. I think Day is saying there are more jury trapped on Earth, she said, in other satellites and systems. We can help them too, said Hana, now that we know how. Captain Sung nodded. The military will assist. This was never meant to be a conflict. He looked at the jury. We were afraid because we didn't understand. The door opened again, and Jin walked in, escorted by a soldier. Jin, cried Hana, running to hug her brother. They let me go, said Jin, once they realized what was really happening. He stared at the jury. So that's Da. Beautiful. For the next few days, humans and the jury worked together. Using the converter, they freed 7 more jury trapped in Earth's systems. Each one joined Da, forming a growing cloud of living light. Scientists from around the world came to learn. The jury shared knowledge about stars, energy, and the many forms of life in the universe. They were careful not to give technology that could be used as weapons, but they taught humans how to see the universe in new ways. In return, humans shared their art, music, and stories. The jury were fascinated by human creativity and emotions, by the way humans found meaning in their short lives. On the last day before the jury would leave Earth, Jum sat alone with Da. I still can't believe all this started with you saying human. I'm stuck in this terrifying machine. Take me and pull me out, said Jun. The jury formed patterns that Jun now understood as laughter. Then Dad moved closer and surrounded Jun completely. Suddenly, Jun was no longer in the lab. He was floating in space, seeing the universe as the jury saw it. Stars weren't just points of light, but living beings with their own stories. Planets weren't just rocks, but potential homes for countless forms of life. And all of it was connected by threads of energy, too beautiful to describe. When June returned to the lab, he was crying. "Thank you," he said, "for showing me that." The next day, the jury gathered in an open field. Thousands of people came to watch them leave. The beams of light rose slowly into the sky, forming patterns like a farewell dance. As they faded from sight, Joan knew humanity would never be the same. They had made friends among the stars. They had proven themselves worthy of joining a larger community. And it all started because humans heard a cry for help and answered.